light. No battleship can crush what's pure and sweet. It's that last drop of oil, it just won't see defeat. It keeps our little hub in flame and dancing to the beat. It's that last drop of oil, we'll take it to the street. And we'll blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell and retell all your stories, be a miracle of light. Blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell and retell all your stories, be a miracle of light. Canto esti nom, no canto nicht mosom. Giboire miyad chaloshim, Rabbi miyad miyad. I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. Crushed like an olive, let your oil flow. When there's nothing left, your true colors show. So reach deep down and grab that spark. Ain't you tired of living in the dark? Show me a candle, I show you the light. Show me a candle, I show you the light. And we'll blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell and retell all your stories, be a miracle of light. Blow smoke in the face of darkness, set fires to burn up the night. Tell and retell all your stories, be a miracle of light. Canto esti nom, no canto nicht mosom. Giboire miyad chaloshim, Rabbi miyad miyad. I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, 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 I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, 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 I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, I'll be a bright light. I'll be a miracle, I'll be a miracle of light. I'll be a nest, I'll be a miracle, miracle of light.
You can be at the Brandenburg Gate, in Red Square, or at Jerusalem's Wall. You can be at the White House, the Eiffel Tower, or defending your ancient homeland. You can be beneath the ocean, or floating above the earth. Wherever you are, if you are Jewish, this is your flame. It stands tall, and so should you. This Hanukkah, reclaim your flame.
Welcome everyone to our 30th annual Chanukah menorah lighting ceremony here at Summit Mall. This is a big milestone, and before we begin, I actually want to remind everyone that tonight is the last night of Chanukah. If you have not yet lit your candles, then be sure to have a candle with you, have the 8 candles, have the menorah, and shortly when we light the menorah, you could join us together and we could all light together as a community. I'm joined here by my co-host, Mr. Gary Himmel. Gary, thank you so much for coming. Gary has been the MC over the last few years, and Gary, you probably remember me, you're a dear friend, but you remember me before I was even born.
Thank you, Rabbi. I sure do. We'll begin with a special video that was prepared for you. The video is about the Hanukkah letter written by the Rebbe. Rabbi, tell us about it.
Tonight's event is actually inspired by the Lubavitch Rebbe. My parents started the Hanukkah ceremony at the Summit Mall because of an initiative that the Rebbe began to light public menorahs all over the world. And if you look all over the world, you'll find Hanukkah menorah lighting ceremonies run by Chabad in every public place you could think of, whether in malls like we have here tonight, or in public city centers, and even in the lawn of the White House. In 1980, the Rebbe wrote a letter explaining the reasoning why he felt it was so vital to spread the message of Hanukkah in this way. And so tonight we're going to share with you this letter in the form of our Akron community, who have all shared as a part of that letter by reciting a little bit of that. So please enjoy.
The lighting of Hanukkah menorahs in public spaces was initiated by the Rebbe, Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson, and gave rise to the now ubiquitous menorahs that stand in city squares, malls, and parks across the United States of America and the world. On the eve of Hanukkah in 1980, the Rebbe wrote a letter explaining the reasoning and inspiration of the public menorah.
To all the participants in the public lighting of the Hanukkah menorah in the USA, greeting and blessing.
Hanukkah, the festival of lights, recalls the victory more than 2,100 years ago
of a militarily weak but spiritually strong Jewish people over the mighty forces of a ruthless enemy
that had overrun the Holy Land and threatened to engulf the land and its people in darkness.
The miraculous victory, culminating with the rededication of the sanctuary in Jerusalem and the rekindling of the menorah,
which had been desecrated and extinguished by the enemy,
has been celebrated annually ever since during these 8 days of Hanukkah.
Especially by lighting the Hanukkah menorah, also as a symbol and a message of the triumph
of freedom over oppression, of spirit over matter, of light over darkness.
It is a timely and reassuring message, for the forces of darkness are ever present.
Moreover, the danger does not come exclusively from outside. It often lurks close to home,
in the form of insidious erosion of time-honored values and principles that are at the foundation of any decent human society.
Needless to say, darkness is not chased away by brooms and sticks, but by illumination.
Our sages said, a little light expels all darkness. The Chanukah light reminds us in the most obvious way
that illumination begins at home.
within oneself and one's family by increasing and intensifying the light of the Torah and mitzvos in the everyday experience, even as the Chanukah lights are kindled in growing numbers from day to day.
But though it begins at home, it does not stop there. Such is the nature of light, that when one kindles a light for one's own benefit, it benefits also all who are in the vicinity.
Indeed, the Hanukkah lights are expressly meant to illuminate the outside,
symbolically alluding to the duty to bring light also to those who,
for one reason or another, still walk in darkness.
Rabbi, thank you and happy Hanukkah.
Happy birthday, lighting Hanukkah.
Thank you, Rabbi.
It must be lighting on the outside also.
Thank you, Rabbi.
That is the message of Hanukkah.
Thank you.
The light on people's doors in such a manner that it will light the street around your home.
Thank you, Rabbi. I need it in my neighborhood.
Yes, very much bless you.
What is true of the individual is true of a nation, especially this great United States, united under God and generously blessed by God, with material as well as spiritual riches.
It is surely the duty and privilege of this nation to promote all the forces of light both at home and abroad, and in a steadily growing measure.
Let us pray that the message of the Hanukkah lights will illuminate the everyday life of everyone, personally and of the society at large,
for a brighter life in every respect, both materially and spiritually.
With esteem and blessing in the spirit of Hanukkah, M. Schneerson.
What a powerful message, Rabbi. Tonight we're welcoming you from wherever you are joining us, online, via Zoom, via Facebook or YouTube. We're also joined by local officials and county officials who have been a big part of our community celebration over these past 30 years. First, we'd like to welcome Fairlawn Mayor Bill Roth.
Thank you very much for inviting me again to participate in your program. It's been a long time I look back on. I think I've made it 24 of the 25 years I've been mayor to take part in the celebration. And I think what's more important this year than all the other years is that the importance with the COVID madness going on is we maintain our traditions, we maintain our practices, and obviously keep our family events going. So on behalf of the city of Fairlawn, I wish you all a happy Hanukkah. I wish you a successful and prosperous new year in health and be safe. And once again, thanks for inviting me. And I wish you all well on behalf of the city of Fairlawn. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Roth. Please welcome Akron Mayor Daniel Horrigan.
Thank you. First, I want to wish everyone a happy Hanukkah, celebrating the Festival of Lights this year. And congratulations on 30 years of celebrating Hanukkah here at the mall. And I know things will look a little bit different this year, but I think we can still remember and celebrate the central message of Hanukkah, which is that of hope. And as we work through these unprecedented times, Hanukkah is a great reminder, in the face of darkness and uncertainty, there is always light. This year, each of us can be that light of hope for our families, our friends, and our communities. God bless you and yours this holiday. Take care and stay well.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Please welcome Summit County Executive Eileen Shapiro.
Thank you, Anseh Shvart Synagogue, Bethel, Temple Israel, and others in the Akron Jewish community for once again organizing this very special event and inviting me to join you. And special thanks to all who contributed to the Kanahor. Your donation to the Akron Canton Regional Food Bank will truly make a difference this holiday season, so as many find themselves in so much need. Our celebration certainly looks different this year, but I can still sense the usual excitement and joy of another Hanukkah. As you know, Hanukkah means dedication. For 8 days, we celebrate the dedication of the Holy Temple in Jerusalem and the miraculous lighting of the menorah. I believe this celebration of dedication has even greater meaning as we reflect on a year that has brought so much devastation and hardship to so many people in our community. So despite all of the challenges that this year has brought, so many of us remain dedicated to doing what is right and doing all that we can to help our community as we collectively battle the COVID-19 virus. I'm so proud of this community, and I know we will continue to do what is right. A little light, even just from one candle in a menorah, can go a long way in driving out darkness. Be a light for those in need. Happy Hanukkah to all.
Thank you, Eileen. We're also joined by Akron synagogues. Please welcome Cantor Kathy of Temple Israel, who will lead us in the special Hanukkah prayer.
Al hanisim v'al hapurkan, v'al hagavurot, v'al hateshuot, v'al haniflaot, she'asita la'avotenu bayamim hahem bizman hazeh. And we thank you for the miracles, for the redemption, for the mighty deeds, for the saving acts, and for the wonders which you have wrought for our ancestors in those days at this time. In the days of Matityahu, the son of Yochanan the high priest, the Hasmonean and his sons, when the wicked Hellenic government rose up against your people Israel to make them forget your Torah and violate the decrees of your will. But you in your abounding mercies stood by them in the time of their distress. You waged their battles, defended their rights, and avenged the wrong done to them. You delivered the mighty into the hands of the weak, the many into the hands of the few, the impure into the hands of the pure, the wicked into the hands of the righteous, and the wanton sinners into the hands of those who occupy themselves with your Torah. You made a great and holy name for yourself in your world and effected a great deliverance and redemption for your people Israel to this very day. Then your children entered the shrine of your house, cleansed your temple, purified your sanctuary, kindled lights in your holy courtyards, and instituted these 8 days of Hanukkah to give thanks and praise to your great name.
Thank you, Cantor.
If you haven't noticed, we see here our big jar of dreidels. And so tonight you have an opportunity to give a guess at how many dreidels are in this glass jar. If you guess right, you'll win a special prize. So make sure to write it in the chat box if you're watching on Zoom, or you can email us, office@akronshul.com, and let us know what your guess is. Make sure you put in the chat box, put your name and a way to contact you. And if you're the winner, then of course, you'll get a special prize. Tonight we are joined by many children in the community as well. I know all you kids probably know the story of Hanukkah so well, but in case you forgot, here is a little reminder.
The History of Chanukah by Ezi. Over 2,000 years ago, Jerusalem was under the control of the Syrian Greek Empire. At first they let the Jews do their own thing, but eventually they started forcing the Jews to do Greek stuff, and they made it illegal to do Jewish stuff. Eventually, a small group of courageous Jews fought against the giant Greek army, who had tons of soldiers with weapons and elephants and were really strong and scary. But miraculously, the Jews won. But that was only the first miracle. When the Jews went back to the Holy Temple to clean out all the Greek stuff, they couldn't light the menorah because the Greeks had depurized all the oil. Is that a word? Anyways, they searched and searched, and finally they found one jar of pure oil, but it was only enough for one night, and it took 8 days to make new oil. But they lit the menorah anyways, and there was another miracle. The oil lasted for all 8 days. So every year we commemorate the miracles that happened in those days by lighting our own candles each night and thanking God for everything He does for us. The end.
You know, the children are always an integral part of the Hanukkah lighting here at the mall. And I want to actually take this opportunity to thank Sarah Greenblatt, who has always been an integral part of the Hanukkah menorah lighting by leading the children in song, the day school students. And so thank you very much for always being there. For our first song today, we will be joined by the Katz family, who will be singing Chanukah, Oh Chanukah. Go ahead.
Oh Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, audience behold. Gather round the table, I'll give you a treat. Silly bones to play with and latkes hay we. And while we are playing. The candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago.
Thank you so much. For our next song, we are joined by the Lammerman family, who will be singing the Hebrew version of the dreidel song, Sivivon, Sof Sof Sof. Go ahead.
Sivivon, Sof Sof Sof, Chanukah, Huotev, Chanukah, Huotev, Sivivon, Sof Sof Sof, Hasin ha'olam, Niskatu hayasham, Niskatu hayasham, Hasin ha'olam, Sivivon, Sof Sof Sof, Chanukah, Huotev, Chanukah, Huotev, Sivivon, Sof Sof Sof.
Thank you so much. And our final song, we will be joined by the Globerman Osina families, who will be joining us in singing our classical dreidel song.
We made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, 2 legs so short and tall, and when I get all tired, it jumps and then I win. Dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh, dreidel I shall play. It has a lovely body, 2 legs so short and tall, and when I get all tired, it jumps and then I win. Oh, dreidel full, oh, faithful, it loves to dance and spin, and a happy game of dreidel. Come play now, let's begin. Hey! Hey!
So we've been celebrating for 30 years now. Wow, Rabbi, what a milestone. That was before you were born. This event was always the highlight of the year for the Jewish community, and at the center of it was always your father, Rabbi Mendy Sasankin. He always brought so much joy to all of us, which none of us will ever forget.
No, I agree, and we have pledged to continue bringing and spreading that joy that he always had, and going forward to continue that special legacy. But as you know, my father wasn't solo. My father always said that behind every event and everything he did was the real master behind it all, my mother, Kayla. So I want to take this opportunity to thank my mother for all that she's done for the community and for Chanukah lighting at the mall for so many years, for 30 years now. You know, over the last 30 years, there were great memories and great times. In particular, one of the highlights was always the themes, the menorah themes that we had. Gary, you remember any of those themes that we had?
You bet I do, and I have them all written down here. We had chocolate, ice, dreidel, candies, balloons, Legos, donuts, basketball, and even a sushi menorah last year. And of course, we can't forget about our Kenora we make every year, which gets donated to the Akron-Canton Regional Food Bank.
Yes, those are always so exciting, the menorahs. I love the chocolate one. I think it actually fell down in the beginning of the event. It was a good memory. But we can't forget another highlight. We always had an appearance of Judah Maccabee and the Dreidel Man, which maybe we'll see them now.
Shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'imru, imru, amen. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh shalom, yaseh shalom. Shalom aleinu v'al kol Yisrael.
So for this important milestone, celebrating 30 years of Chanukah at Summit Mall, we've prepared a special video going down memory lane. Please enjoy.
Rabbi, I think we're ready for the lighting of the menorah.
I agree.
I saw that this year's theme is the living menorah. What exactly is that?
The living menorah. The living menorah is actually a human menorah. We are going to have 8 members of the community who will be joining us, each representing another candle. We're now in a very challenging time, but despite it all, the thing that has kept us all together has been our community spirit. And for this, I want to thank all of you for joining us tonight, because you help keep the community spirit alive. Thank you all for joining. I'll remind you one more time, as we're about to light the menorah, remember it's the 8th night. If you have not yet lit the menorah at home, please get some candles, get a menorah, and join us as we light the menorah. Here's how it's going to work. We're first going to light our traditional oil menorah with the Don drum, beautiful menorah we have. The oil menorah has been traditional because this is the menorah they lit in the temple with oil, olive oil. After that, we're going to have our human living menorah, and we're going to ask each of those who will light the menorah, will hold their torch. They're going to light it from their right side, which is for those watching on your left side, because we light from left to right. And you're going to light your menorah, light your torch, introduce yourself, and then light the next candle, virtually, of course. Please join along. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Chanukah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam she'asa nisim lavoteinu hayamim haim bizman hazeh. And now we're ready for our human menorah. All right, we're going to start to lead off our shamish. Our lead candle is Mr. Todd Polikoff, the CEO of the JCBA. Todd, go ahead.
Thank you. I'm honored to be lighting the menorah tonight on behalf of the Jewish Community Board of Akron and the Jewish community of Greater Akron. This year, 2020, has been a year that's been filled with darkness for our community and for the world around. And tonight, as we light this menorah, we have an opportunity to add more light to the world. And we should all be doing that today, tonight, and every day moving forward.
Hi, my name's Juliana Fatika, and I'm Candle 1.
Hi, I'm Paul Durgan. I'm candle number 2.
Hi, I'm Carmi.
And Todd Stein, and we're here to light candle number 3.
From our families to yours, happy Hanukkah.
I'm Margie Richt. I have candle number 4.
Hi, I'm Tom Mandel, and I'm candle number 5.
Hi, I'm Jeremiah Friedman. I'm candle number 6.
Hi, I'm David Kern. I'm candle number 7.
Hi, I'm Zvi Migdal, and I'm candle number 8.
עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו חי, היי עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. עוד אבינו חי, עוד אבינו חי, היי עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. היי עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו חי, היי עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי. היי עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו, עוד אבינו חי, היי עם ישראל, עם ישראל, עם ישראל חי.
Please welcome Chazan Matt Osterklein of Bethel for Ma'ot Zur and some Chanukah songs. Please sing along.
Chanukah Sameach, a happy Chanukah to everybody out there. I'm Chazan Matt Osterklein from Bethel Congregation, just here to share some music with you. And I want to say thank you to Reb Moshe for asking me. It's my pleasure to share with you a song you probably know in English, and some of you also know in Yiddish, beautiful language. This is Chanukah, O Chanukah. I'm going to start with the Yiddish version, and then go to the English version, and please sing with whichever ones you know. Chanukah, oi Chanukah, a yontif a scheiner, a lustiger, a freilicher, ne ton och a zoiner, alle Nacht mit Reilach spielen mir, frische heiße Latkes essen und a Schir, alle Nacht mit Reilach spielen mir, frische heiße Latkes essen und a Schir, geschwinder zieht Kinder, die Chanukah lichterlich hoch, Sogt alla Nissim, wo Gott war die Nissim, komm ich tanzen im Chor. Sogt alla Nissim, wo Gott war die Nissim, und komm ich tanzen im Chor. Chanukah, oh Chanukah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance the hora. Gather round the table, we'll give you a treat. Dreidels to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. For this second song, many of you know Ma'oz Zur, Ma'oz Zur Yeshuati, which is so well known in the Jewish world. It's like our seasonal motif. But 300 years ago, actually, the Jews of Italy, the Ashkenazi Jews of Italy, had a very different local tune for that. And this tune we know in our household here, and actually was taken by my wife, Rabbi Alyssa Osterklein, who's a very fine composer in her own right. And she took it and updated it for a more contemporary sound. So this is Ma'oz Zur by Rabbi Alyssa Osterklein, and I'm honored to share it with you tonight. Ma'oz Zur Yeshuati Lechana Elishabeach Tikon Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Lezabeach Ne'etach in Matbeach Mitzar Hamnabeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukah Mizbeach Ma'oz Zur Yeshuati Lekana L'shabeach Tikun Beit Tefilati V'sham Toda Lezabeach Ne'etach in Matbeach Mitzar Hamnabeach Azegmor B'shir Mizmor Chanukah
Thank you, Chazan.
Please enjoy the following videos. The first is from the famous Maccabees, whom we all, or you may be aware of, is a twist on the original dreidel song as we know it. And following that will be a music video talking about our inner strength and our inner flame that we all have. Enjoy.
I have a little dreidel, I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Oh dreidel, 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 I made it out of clay, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Dreidel, 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 it loves to dance and spin. A happy game of dreidel. Come play now. Let's begin. Thank you.
I have a little dreidel. I made it out of wood, and when y'all are ready, I'll play you if I could. Oh, dreidel, 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 I made it out of wood, and when y'all are ready, I'll play you if I could. Yo, turn me up in the headphones. Dreidel, 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 made it out of gold. When it's cold, you are already, I'ma play it when it's cold. So cold.
Dreidel, 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 I made it out of sand. But when I tried to spin it, it crumbled in my hand, crumbled in my hand. Crumbled in my hand.
I have a little dreidel. I made it out of clay. And when it's dry and ready, dreidel I shall play. I shall play.
Oh, dreidel, 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 che devaro fabbriche, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. Dreidel, 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 che devaro fabbriche, and when it's dry and ready, oh dreidel I shall play. I have a little dreidel. Dreidel I shall play. Dun, 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 dun. I had a little dreidel, I made it out of clay. He made it out of clay, he made it out of clay, out of clay. Dreidel, dreidel, oh, dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Can't tame a flame, flying through like an aeroplane, can't pin it down, shining light all around. Your soul inside, it's a flame, it's from on high, can't stop the heat, it's burning, burning up the beach. Your soul could warm the coldest heart, so let the fire start. I'm on fire, head down, gotta let it shine and let it flow. I'm on fire, head down, gotta let it shine and let it flow. I'm on fire, head down, gotta let it shine and let it flow. I'm on fire, head down, gotta let it shine. Don't change your flame, go along with the hurricane. Don't turn around, earthquake shaking underground. No looking back, burning, burning up the track. Light sets you free, above infinity. Your soul could warm the coldest heart, so let the fire start. I'm on fire, head down, gotta let it shine and let it flow. I'm on fire, head down, gotta
We'd like to thank the Summit Mall for hosting this event once again, as it's done so graciously for the past 30 years. We'd also like to thank our synagogues, the Shaw JCC, the JCBA, and the JFS.
And I would like to give a special thank you to Gary for joining us today. Thank you for the production team. Thank you to my wife, of course, who is, like I said, always behind everything that I do, just as my mother was behind everything my father did. Thank you all for joining us at home, and I hope you have a wonderful Hanukkah. You know, we're going to be finishing off our time over here, but you're welcome to, if you're joining us on Zoom, you're welcome to stay on for a little bit. We're going to keep it on for a little bit more to schmooze and to hang out. And happy Hanukkah. Take the light of Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah, everybody.
Spread it out into the world. Happy Hanukkah.
Amen.